Welcome back to the second half of installing my under cabinet LED tape lighting. If you haven't watched part one, go back and watch it to see all the installation that was done in the previous take. Today, everything has finally shown up. So what we have to install today is our channel, which I kind of goofed up, and I got a white channel instead of the brushed nickel, but that's okay. It's going to be completely out of sight, and also two of them are going to be going in a kitchen that is white cabinets and there is no lip, so they'll be completely exposed, so I'm actually glad. Anyway, this channel is made by Smoother, I guess, like Smoother with a lisp. Anyway, and then we have the connectors for the tape. I've tried it out already. They do just barely fit underneath the cover, which is very, very important. We got our driver in the mail. It does say it's dimmable, although on the dimmer itself, the driver itself, it doesn't say that anywhere that I could see. I just scanned over it. But those are going to go. That's going to get mounted up in the top with that Romex coming from the Caseta switch right there, feeding it. And then it's going to go to the 3 under cabinet lights. And what we have is this WAC Gemini, which is really good stuff. It's 3000K in color, which I had previously changed the light bulb in the bottom of my microwave to an LED 3000K. So this will all match. And I have a 15-foot spool, which is a little longer than I do, but that was the smallest I could get. They always give you a couple of couplers that's different from the end feed. That's in case you need to put two pieces together. We will not. And then this Caseta, as you saw in the other video, is going to go on the wall right there to the left of those two switches, and that is going to control the Caseta. Anyhow, let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to make this one a lot shorter than the other one. I got a little long-winded, but I'll see you on the next step. Okay, I have mounted the housing for the driver and run the cables, ran some straps in them to neaten them up a little bit. I did not use staples on this low voltage wire because they could damage it and that could cause problems. It used to be a lot tougher. For some reason, the past few years, this insulation, they used to give you a little pull string to rip the outer sheathing. They don't even have that anymore, this particular one. And sometimes that even gets crossed and peels the insulation off. But anyway, so now it's all nice and neat. I'm gonna go ahead and wire my driver in and get back to you. Okay, driver is wired. All up in there. We just need to slide this protector and separator inside there and close it up. And then we'll start on the lights. Okay, so now we need to cut the channel. And I need two pieces which are exactly 29 1/4, and this one's 30 inches. Now, even though the tape cuts at 2-inch intervals, meaning they'll be 28 inches each, I do want to span the channel from edge to edge just for looks, even though the tape will actually start somewhere inside of it. And so what I do is also the end caps I'm putting on just for looks. I'm using all the ones that have a hole in it. They give you half with a hole and half without for the wires. And in the other kitchen, the wires are actually going to be coming through the cabinet into the top of the channel. So I want to have four of them left over without holes in them. Here you won't see the holes. So anyway, I've marked this one at 29 7/8 to allow for that plus a little bit. And I'll show you how I tape it. I'm going to tape it and come back because I need both hands. Okay, now I have all three marked. These are my 29 1/4. This is my 30. And I just wanted to show you, in this case, I'm not worried about saving these pieces, but on bigger jobs, I have longer pieces of channel, so I want to be careful with both sides. So what I'll do is put thick tape on both sides to protect it and to mark the line all the way around it. And so it's wrapped like that, and that makes it easy. These two, I don't care if this gets scratched because that's going in the trash. But anyway, I'm going to go out and cut them with the Sawzall and file them down nice and pretty. I don't have a Ryobi bandsaw, so I've got to use my Ryobi Sawzall to do that. And then I'm going to file them down nice and pretty. And I'll see you then. Okay, ends are cut. And now we need to cut the tape. As you can see, we still ended up with 3 of their beveled holes, so I'm happy with that. And this WAC Gemini tape, as you can see, you can cut it on those brass lines where you see a little pair of scissors, or maybe not. But anyway, they're 2-inch increments, and so each one of these is going to end up being a 28-inch piece. And this is, it says it's 4 watts per foot. Pretty sure the website said it was 3 watts per foot, but that could be an issue when you're sizing your transformer or your driver for a larger kitchen. In this case, 3 watts a foot at 7 feet would have been 21. Now we're only at 28, so we're still good with our 60-watt driver that we put in. But just wanted to mention that it is 4 watts per foot. I could have misread it on the website, or maybe they've changed it. But anyway, let me get these things cut, and I'll be right back. I need both hands. We're just going to use these scissors. Okay, we've got all 3 tapes cut, and put the end feeds on 2 of them on their corresponding ends. I always, I forgot to mention, you have to be aware of your polarity with DC voltage. So red is positive and white we have made the negative. Coming out of the driver, the black is negative, but we don't have a black, so red is the positive. And I like to, when I do it, I do them so that when the tape actually goes up, the one facing the outer part of the cabinet is the red positive. I set it up that way so it's hard to work on your back, so that way I don't have to think as much. It's pretty automatic. So these, as you can see, these have a notch in it for, see if you can see that. It's going to be very hard to see, but has a notch in it for the tape, and the other side has 2 holes for wires. So what's going to happen is, I can't do it with one hand, but that's going to go all the way inside. You peel off the adhesive backing a little bit, as you can see, and then that's going to go inside there, and then you tighten down the set screws with a little Phillips screwdriver. Not too tight, you just want them snug. You don't want to punch a hole in the tape. It is very, very delicate. So let me get that done real quick. Okay, also to make things easier when we're underneath on our backs, the plastic cover that snaps on top of it, we're going to cut to fit because it's set up for the longer size. All we're going to do for that is we're going to hold it in there, mark it with a pencil, and again use the same pair of scissors to cut it. And then once it's all snapped into place, it does have a plastic film over it that we have to take off. So I'm going to get those pre-cut. I've got everything laid out in their places. And then once those are all ready to go, we're just going to prep our wires and go down underneath one time for each one, hopefully. Okay, if you go back to our previous video, you'll remember that we spaced it so that we wouldn't have any dark spots on the countertop, but also so that we could fit a level in there as a straight edge and get it straight all the way across. And that is really nice because I actually have this one cut perfectly so it's in there with a little bit of pressure, which will hold it still. But we're going to screw that with the 3 short screws that come with it. And we've got to make sure you're not going through the bottom of your countertop. Bottom of your cabinet. But luckily they have provided us with these little short screws. And we have a 3/4 inch thick bottom to our cabinet. So let me get those in, and then we're going to connect the tape. Okay, we got the first one hooked up, and I just wanted to test it. I made sure the other 2 were clear, turned it on, and I'm glad I did because this happens every now and then with this WAC Gemini tape. You can see there is a dead section right there. And obviously the current passes through it, so it's a problem with the tape. We have run into that before. It's been a while, but sometimes it'll be just a section somewhere in the middle goes bad. Fortunately, I think I have enough tape that I don't have to worry about that too much. Maybe I can use this shorter piece somewhere else in the future, but they're definitely going to get an email from me about that. Let me change this real quick. Okay, I replaced it with another 28-inch piece, and that one is fine, the whole length. So we'll go ahead and use that. What I'm going to do now is peel off the backing, stick it up into the channel, and then pop the cover on it, and this one will be done. Just want to give you a glimpse of what it looks like. Somebody did some damage to that cabinet. Anyway, now the tape is up in the channel with the adhesive backing. We're just going to put the plastic cover on, and I was able to, push all the excess slack back in this void, where I'll push it up with my hand, make sure it's out of sight, and that came in handy for hiding the cable better. All right, let's get the cover on it. Okay, the plastic cover is now on it. So it's got a nice, clean, finished look, end to end, and no visible wiring. Let me get the other 2 in, and then we will mount the Caseta and pair it to the dimmer, and we'll be all done. Okay, cabinet lights are in, under cabinet lights are in. The last step is we're going to pair it to this Pico remote, and we're going to mount it to the wall using this Pico bracket. Now it's very important, it's going to go right there next to these 2 existing switches. And it's important to note that this has, I'm trying to do this with one hand, a removable piece right here where my fingers are that you have to use a screwdriver in these 2 little grooves to pop out. That's important to take out when you mount it on a wall. That is for when you're going to mount it on an existing box where there's a hole, because it gives it extra support. In this case, we don't need the support. It'll make it stick off the wall a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our new 3-gang plate, put it there, and I'm going to mark these holes with a pencil and then come back. Okay, I marked the 2 plate holes, which are these 2 top ones. And then what I did was I broke the little tab out. You see my finger goes through it now. I held that over where the plate screws would be, and I marked where the mounting screws would be. So let me get those in real quick. And I leveled it first. Mounting bracket is on the wall, and we're going to take this Pico remote. We're going to pop this little piece out of the back. They put that in there at the factory. It has a little tape sticky thing on it, but I guess we don't need that because we're using that groove to slide it. Try to do this with one hand. Slide it into that bracket and slide it right down like that. And you can theoretically pull it out without taking the plate off to change the battery. But I've been using these Casetas for years and years, and I've never had to change a battery. So now we need to pair this to our Caseta up here. And to do that, we push in our FASS disconnect switch at the bottom, and everything came on, as you can see. We'll go over that later. So now what I'm going to do is hold the off button for about 6 seconds or so until they blink like that. And then I have a short amount of time to walk over to the Pico remote, and I'm going to hold that bottom button until the lights go up and down like that. Then I can let go, and now we never have to get up there and mess with that dimmer. We have full control of the lights, off, on, and then we can dim it to the desired level. One nice feature of this Pico is the center button. Once you get it to a desired level at nighttime, you can hold down that center button until that light flickers. And what that does is that saves that setting. So if you wanted to just go to that setting automatically, you just put the center button and you're there. Otherwise, you can use the up, down, and on, off buttons. So we're just going to turn them on for now. We'll get the plate on and then clean up and show you the results. And here is the final result. As you can see, we have light all the way down. No black shadow line, which is annoying. So this will get changed to gray, and it'll also get changed from Cooper to Leviton as I change all the receptacles around the house to Leviton Decora. But those will be gray. And as you can see, now we have beautiful 3000K under cabinet light. Hopefully it matches the 3000K light that I got for the microwave, the LED bulb. So yeah, there you have it. And everything is controlled from the wall. And of course I will also be pairing it to my app that I have on my phone, since I already have the bridge installed. That way I can control it from my cell phone from anywhere in the world. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next project.